It looks like they're ready to go. Here we go into our next match. I stand corrected. Oh, shoot good. Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so Daniel's got a GTR setup. He's got his transition already done.
Yeah, it's a little off for GTR, and I think he decided to just send off the 3-chain because he saw that Nerketur wasn't having much setup, so he got a quick attack in there.
Yeah, that was a well-timed rush. Looks like Nerketur is trying to form a chain, but he's having some difficulty digging out his pieces. Meanwhile, Daniel... Both players are in the weird state of just building up their resources, but... Hopefully Daniel puts a red in column 3.
Yeah, neither of them have any attacks set up yet. Nerketur is looking to build a dig. That being said, it's going to be kind of hard for him to dig with how he's currently set his pieces, so... This 2-chain might be enough to seal him out. Actually, no, he got the 2-chain to defend. That was well good.
This is light little pokes, which might work because Nerketur doesn't really have the board space, and he doesn't look too keen on digging either, so this might seal him off.
Yeah, no, he just doesn't have space. Yep, first round goes to Daniel.
Daniel is doing a weird variation of stairs this time.
It looks like he's just starting with the transition, actually, though he put reds in column 3, so that's going to color conflict.
This looks like a bit of a Hellfire setup, now that I think about it. Meanwhile, Nerketur has a pretty solid 2-chain over there. Daniel's trigger is the reds in columns 1 and 2, but doesn't look like he doesn't look like he has easy access to them, so he might have a bit of trouble if Nerketur chooses to continue attacking.
Yeah, looks like Daniel's getting a bit more set up. He has this 2-chain that should be some decent damage since Nerketur had no defenses. Though that being said, Nerketur's board was more vertical, so that harassment isn't actually affecting him too much. Oh, but here comes a power 3 from Daniel.
That should seal off. And I think that game should go to Daniel.
Yep.
I feel like Daniel has a much higher advantage due to knowing at least like 1 or 2 chaining forms. Because it looks like he was going for stairs at first, but then he just turned it into a power chain because he didn't get the colors that he needed.
Yeah. That being said, it doesn't look like Nerketur is too much behind, so if he can get some good pieces to help him build a solid chain, he should be able to at least hold his own. Alright, we are in our second game. Neither player following any real specific form currently.
The board state of the players is... Oh, if Daniel sets off those greens, he'll have a 3-chain, which is actually pretty neat.
Yeah. And Nerketur doesn't have any defenses against his 3s, so he's going to be taking a hit.
Yeah, I think he's just going to make a new chain entirely. Meanwhile, Daniel might seal off the trigger. No, he didn't.
We got a 2 from Nerketur, and Daniel doesn't have any defenses, so he's going to be taking a hit as well. Oh, and wow, that garbage is sealing him off pretty decently. He'll have to form at least a little dig.
Looks like he can get the dig if he puts that red in there, but since he didn't put the red in column 2, it's only going to be a 2-chain.
Yeah, it still sent some garbage to Nerketur, so it did its purpose.
Nerketur's running out of space, but Daniel looks like he's about to prepare another attack, so this should be another game for Daniel.
Yeah, this round goes to Daniel. He's playing pretty solid so far. So yeah, match point for Daniel.
Daniel may or may not be going for a GTR setup.
No, it does not look like it. Oh, he is. He just has now raised it 1 row.
Yeah, it looks pretty powerful. He might just set it off here because Nerketur doesn't have any resources on his board at all. There's nothing that resembles a transition.
I'm surprised he filled in his trigger instead of just setting off the 4-chain that he had.
He's probably looking to extend way more, but Nerketur doesn't really have anything to combat it, so he should have just killed Nerketur right off the bat.
The number one problem with Puyo players is definitely greed. You always want to make the biggest chains possible, even if you know that smaller chain would still win you the game.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but down the line you'll end up having to overextend to, like, let's say somebody just like sets off their long chain, you're gonna have to like overextend a lot to make sure you don't die.
Yeah, there's definitely some situations where it's important. That being said, it looks like Daniel has way more reasons than Nerketur, mainly because he's been keeping Nerketur sealed off a good amount. He just needs to get 1 more solid chain and he should seal this.
As long as he reaches the greens and the yellows in columns 5 and 6, Nerketur should have a chance of winning, and he ended up reaching them. Now he has to focus on the greens in column 4. But
yeah, he managed to block the Daniel's chain a decent amount. Daniel got some of the dig, but he still has to put in a little more work to get a decisive chain.
Oh, Daniel has a lot of follow-ups, so it looks like that's another game for him.
Yeah, so this
Nerketur
match
had
goes to
pretty
Daniel.
good defenses, but I feel like the piece draughts ended up hindering him in the end. Because there were a lot of situations where he had to go through a lot of pieces just to get the color he needed, like the greens.